Welcome back to Costa Media. My God, my God, my God. Welcome back, guys. Costa's Arsenal Army. Let us just assemble for the transfer update right about now. A lot of transfer talk to talk about, by the way. I'm streaming it live for that reason. A lot of news to talk about on this day. Diego Costa, Tariq Lamptey, Mesut Ozil, Emiliano Buendia, Juan Jordan. So many things to talk about. So many things to talk about. Riqui Puig, and yeah, I think, and so many other things. So smash the like button, let your subscriptions flow, and let us just make sure we are on the 200 like mark. Yeah, that means we are good to go. 200 likes, we are good to go. So, hello guys, how are you doing? Thank you for joining me for the transfer updates. I know the title is a little bit catchy, but I'll try to explain why I use that title. Maybe you'll buy it, maybe you'll not buy it, and you'll have to forgive me for that. But let us get straight into it. Today we are versing Brighton, and one of the players we are about to verse or take on is Tariq Lamptey, heavily linked with Arsenal in the past 24 hours. Yeah, heavily linked with us in the past 24 hours. My question is, does Arsenal really need Tariq Lamptey? And my answer is yes, but that doesn't mean that we're going to sign him because of those two reasons, the question and the answer. There are so many things to consider if Arsenal is going to go for Tariq Lamptey. Of course, you guys know that. In my mind, there are two things. One, Arsenal need a right back. And two, Arsenal will not sign a right back in the January transfer window because he doesn't look like our priority. It's not a position that is our priority. Yeah. But we have been linked with Tariq Lamptey just as Manchester United. He signed for Brighton just in the summer when all of us were looking on. He was a Chelsea, signed for Brighton, and he has had a ridiculously, he has so far had a ridiculously good performance and season at Brighton. If I look at his statistics this season in the Premier League, he has played 11 games for Brighton, 1 goal and 3 assists. That is quite decent from a right back, especially by the fact that he's still young. He's not one of the oldest lads in the Premier League. So I think he's doing well. I don't know what you think about that, guys, but I think he's really, really doing well. He's talented, defensively, very good going forward, and I think he's a center of attraction to many fans, be it Arsenal, be it Manchester United. Of course, I don't think Chelsea missed him because they have replaced him with Reece James, and I think he's doing quite a better job than Lamptey is doing at Brighton. Though they should have thought about it as having Lamptey as an undercover right back, and then Reece James as the main right back. But those are bygones. I think if we talk about one of the best or the best 5 right backs right now in the league, you're gonna mention him, trust me, because he has both attributes. And for me, I put him ahead of Aaron van Bissaka, because Bissaka, however good he is as a player, there are attributes he doesn't have. I mean, going forward, he is so awful. He's one of the worst players going forward, although his defensive abilities cannot be compared to any other right back in the league. So if you talk about the best 5 right backs in the league, you're gonna talk about Tariq Lamptey, probably Reece James. Talk about Reece James. You talk about Lamptey. You talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yeah, you'll talk about Pereira at Leicester City, although he's suffering injuries and is not playing so much. Probably you talk about Doherty at Spurs. So I think he really qualifies and he has earned his way through the ranks. But can Arsenal sign him? That is when that's where we need to go. Now, look, this guy has barely been at Brighton for a year. I don't know. Can we go out there and say, you guys have signed this guy for 6 months, 5 months of football? Now we want him. I don't think it's going to be easy. And by the fact that Arsenal is in quite a predicament, our creation in the midfield is, stinking, I don't think right back is our priority. So that is why on my list, I can look at people like Emiliano Buendia, Juan Jordan, Riqui Puig, and a couple of other players. Yeah. So Lamptey is a good player, decent right back. I would love to see him at Arsenal. I'm a big fan. I'm really impressed, really impressed with his with his abilities. But trust me, it is not time for Arsenal to go out for right back like Lamptey, because it's just going to waste our time. And I also think our focus should be on our main priorities. Yeah, I know a right back is our priority. Yeah, because we need one who is equally as good as Kian Tierney. Just imagine you have a player who, you have a right back who can give you what Kian Tierney gives you. I mean, that is marvelous. Yeah, out of the box, everything is okay. So then I do appreciate the love for Lamptey, but we need to get rid of Bellerin. And I think for me, these stories are coming out of the fact that the situation between Arsenal and Bellerin and Arsenal and Ainsley Maitland-Niles is quite vague, opaque and not transparent, because the fact Barcelona, the new president, one of the presidential candidates anyway, says if he's elected as Barcelona president, the first signing he wants to make is Hector Bellerin back at the Nou Camp or the Camp Nou, and then that, of course, that could be January. Of course, we know the mess Barcelona are in. They are just, they stink. They really stink. And the other is that Atletico Madrid, being the fact that Kieran Trippier is suspended for not playing football, suspended from playing football for almost 10 weeks. They need a right back that can actually fit in, and they're looking at Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Now, this would be a very big problem, yeah, but it qualifies the fact that Arsenal is interested in Lamptey. But will Brighton want to sell? I don't think so, especially in the January transfer window, when they are still fighting for their life. They're still fighting for, they still feel they can fight for their life in the Premier League. I don't see any way. They're just going to wake up one day and they're like, okay, we are letting go of, Tariq Lamptey at the moment. If anything's going to happen, it must be in the summer. And Stan Kroenke has already made it clear that Arsenal will have to first offload some players before bringing in. So I don't think we should offload Ozil, Socrates, or Mustafi, or any player who is going to leave William Saliba, or rather, and bring in a right back. That's going to be a redundancy unless one or two of the right backs leave. Actually, two of them. If we lose two right backs, which I think Ainsley should stay at the club. If we lose Bellerin and Cedric, then I appreciate the love for Lamptey, and I understand where the rumors do stem from. But other than that, I don't think Tariq Lamptey is an immediate target for us, though. I think, by the way, for me, instead of giving me Tariq Lamptey, I would still go for Max Aarons. I've already told you I'm a big fan of Max Aarons, Norwich City. He's in the Championship. I think he could be a little bit more cheaper. Yeah. So I don't see us go for Tariq Lamptey when you fail to go for Max Aarons. I just don't see that happen. But anyway, guys, that is Tariq Lamptey for you. Now, the other ridiculous story I've read, and I felt like I just want to throw back, is Diego Costa being monitored by Arsenal. Now, in the morning, I was just happy. I was just happy, and I was talking out of happiness. But the truth is, this savage scavenger should not come close to Arsenal. Yeah, as simple as that. Diego Costa, he is finished. The reason, and this is what we have been talking about day in, day out, that if Atletico Madrid cannot give you Saul Niguez because he's a top-class player and they need him, yeah, if they don't want to sell Thomas Partey to you because he's a top-class midfielder and they want to use him, why do you then accept, to take Diego Costa, who they deem as finished and not advantageous, not relevant anymore? if you want to compete with Atletico Madrid, if you want to continue, because I mean, we should be at least at a level where we can compete with Atletico Madrid, yeah. Because I don't take them as giants in Europe. They're not giants. They're not European giants, are they? So, but if we are going for Diego Costa, he is finished. Yeah, he is finished. The reason that's why Atletico Madrid are actually letting him go, they have allowed him to miss training to look at his next move, is because they know there isn't in any way he's going to benefit. He's not going to benefit them. He's no longer beneficial to the club. And here we are, crazy Arsenal again, back to what we do most, sniffing around for the rotten content. We want to bring him Diego Costa. He's finished. It's as simple as that. He's finished. He has become injury prone. If you're injury prone in La Liga, don't dare come to the Premier League. Yeah. And what is, interesting is we want to go for him on a free deal, just like Willian. We never learn from our mistakes. Yeah. We bring in Willian. He becomes a piece of shit at 32. How old is Diego Costa? Everybody knows. Yeah. Man is going in his late 30s, I think. I don't think there is football in him anymore. Yeah. If we want a forward, for example, if Alexander Lacazette is not sure whether he has to stay at Arsenal because his contract is in his last 18 months, yeah, probably in the summer he's going to have 1 year. Then you can negotiate with Alexander Lacazette to stay rather than bringing Diego Costa. In my opinion, Costa is finished. Costa is finished. Trust me, guys. Yeah, Costa is finished. I don't want Diego Costa anywhere close to this football club. Not anywhere close. He is simply finished. Smash the like button and get your comments coming in. Yeah. Diego Costa, I was a fan of Diego Costa when he was at Chelsea, winning 2 Premier League titles. When he was at Atletico Madrid, they nearly won the Champions League. They won the league as well with under Diego Simeone. I understand. He's a winner. He has that, mentality and everything, but it is a big deal mistake. You don't want to sign Diego Costa because he is finished. We'd rather go for younger players to attract the future than go for 33, 34 Diego Costa. What is he going to do at Arsenal? Really, I think Arsenal should think about it. If you're losing Lacazette and we're bringing in Diego Costa, it's a bad deal. Yeah, it's really a bad deal. Now, again, Juventus have just confirmed that no, we are not going for Mesut Ozil. They did confirm that we do not want Mesut Ozil. The deal was, and Arsenal is quite, a ridiculous club. The deal was that we wanted to send Mesut Ozil to Juventus in Italy so that he could actually spend the rest of his contract there. So that means, one, that we are not ready to give him playing time. And I do appreciate that. I do understand Mikel Arteta is not a fan of Mesut Ozil anymore, I think. Or the politics at the club involving Mesut Ozil are just too way powerful. So he's not coming back. Now, they wanted to send him to Juventus, yeah? Send him out there, then pay half of his wages. Juventus pay half. I was just laughing. Because what can Ozil offer to Juventus right now? Look at those quality players they have in their squad. Probably if they're interested in any player, it's going to be Paul Pogba, because they have already shown that their transfer intentions are with Paul Pogba. They're not with Mesut Ozil. Ozil, I think we are stuck with him until the end of the season. He has had talks with Fenerbahce, Dallas, and a couple of other clubs. So we have to wait until June to decide whether, Ozil, actually not to decide, to know whether Ozil is going to be going to Juventus, Fenerbahce. But if Arsenal want to send him out, I don't think even the player would actually agree. So we are stuck with Mesut Ozil. That's what you have to know. But let us get to the interesting parts of this edition. One, Emiliano Buendia, Norwich is set for talks. They increased their price to 40 million, but reports have it that they could settle for around 25 or 30 million pounds. His transfer valuation is surprisingly very low than that, 15 million, but I don't think it has been upgraded according to the websites I do follow. I don't think it has been upgraded by the fact that he's promising. He has given Norwich hope of coming back in the Premier League. He's having a second successful consecutive season. He's not going to be that cheap. Yeah, he's not going to be that cheap. But for me, again, I look at him as one of the easier deals to do if Arsenal is really serious about getting a creative midfielder, or an AM attacking midfielder, creative midfielder. Call him whatever you want. I think it's the easier deal to do, because if we go out there, talk Norwich, give them the money they want, they are willing to sell. And I also think it's easier for us to convince Emiliano Buendia, especially if we can go in there after winning 3 games in a row. That takes us around to at least 11th or 10th. Yeah, that can actually make us more attractive. Yeah, if we get a little winning run of 4 games, which I think we can. If Mikel Arteta doesn't do that, I'll pull the plug. I'll just sack him. But Emiliano Buendia, for me, I see him as the easier deal, as compared to Isco, as compared to Hausemowa, as compared to all the other deals around there. Yeah, you might look at Isco and you tell me, because he is a reject and so on. He wants to leave the club and so on. Yeah, I do understand there. But the fact that Real Madrid do not want, are not using him anymore, also communicates something big. Why did Ceballos leave Real Madrid? Yeah, on a loan deal for 2 consecutive seasons, because he's not good enough. So Isco probably he's no longer that attractive GC attacking midfielder, creative midfielder that all of us know. So Emiliano Buendia, Norwich is open to offers. Now, this is again crazy. We are 3 days away from the January transfer window. Arsenal did not make an offer for Szoboszlai. We have not made an offer for Emiliano Buendia. We have not made an offer for anyone. Yeah. Now, again, this is quite frustrating, and Arsenal need to change this. We are in a big predicament. One, time is against us. Yeah. Time is really against us. Everybody knows that. Yeah. The second thing, apart from time, is you have a couple of games coming in thick and fast, because in a space of 6-7 days, we are going to play 3 games. Yeah. 3 games. So Arsenal need to act quickly. Norwich is open to talks, but Arsenal have not put in an offer. Why? I do not understand. Maybe Edu can answer that question, quite very clear. Okay. So moving on with the links. The other is Juan Jordan. I'll talk about Riqui Puig lastly, but let me talk about Juan Jordan. And of course, I'll do a video about Juan Jordan, and I'll do a video about Riqui Puig, yeah, separately. But let us talk about them. Now, in our pursuit to get Hausemowa, it seems that our energy and our ability to get him is threatened. We don't look like a club that's going to get them anytime soon. So what we are trying to do is going out there and looking for alternatives. And where did we land? On Sevilla's creative midfielder, Juan Jordan. Now, this guy has played 12 games for Sevilla this season. He has had 2 assists, collected 1 yellow card. 2 yellow cards actually, and 1 red card. Yeah, he has no goals scored. I think when I look at the kind of players that we are most linked with in the midfield, I want to believe that I do understand Mikel Arteta's intention in this coming transfer, January transfer window. I think his intentions are not to get a number 10. He rather desperately craves for a ball-playing midfielder who will play alongside Thomas Partey, because we have already known that Arsenal didn't offer for Dominic Szoboszlai, who was reportedly one of our top transfer targets. I don't know whether we didn't know that on the 15th of January, of December actually, we had to offer because that is what his contract said. And some reports say we didn't even offer for Dominic Szoboszlai. We were just, shouting around. But missing Dominic Szoboszlai without offering creates a question. Did we actually want that kind of player? And for me, however much I want a number 10, however much I know Arsenal need that kind of player that lingers behind the forward line, the strikers, it is more easy for me to believe that Arsenal actually want a number 8. Mikel Arteta is more interested in getting a number 8 than actually getting a number 10. So that means that we are looking at Houssem Aouar as the first option. Then we are looking at Juan Jordan. Now, this is the other player. He has a 55 million release clause. I mean, that doesn't make any sense for me, does it? 55 million release clause. I remember the last time we were fighting with the release clause, we almost failed to get the player until deadline day. So the question remains, can we really trigger 55 million, release clause in his contract? It's questionable. But there are also reports saying that Sevilla. Why did I say Aston Villa? Sevilla are more open to listening to offers around 32 to 35 million pounds. That is reducing on the release clause. So I don't know whether Arsenal are quite serious about Juan Jordan, but I've seen him, by the way. He's an interesting player, very interesting, but he is only good to play alongside Thomas Partey, not behind the striker. So he's not an Emiliano Buendia, to be quite specific. He's not an Emiliano Buendia. He's not an Isco. He's just as good as Houssem Aouar. Yeah. And I think for me, to give me Juan Jordan at 55 million, you either give me Houssem Aouar at 50 or 45 million. So it will depend on what kind of deal Arsenal will settle with. That is in the summer. And lastly, I'm here to do marketing for one player called Riqui Puig. 28 million valuation from Barcelona. Arsenal is interested. Arsenal is reportedly interested in the young lad. Born in 1999, that makes him 21 years of age. But trust me, I don't think if Barcelona are in their right thinking minds and states, they can't let this young boy go. Yeah? They just can't let this boy go. He is an absolute bowler. An absolute bowler. I've been looking at his videos. I'm quite very, very unlucky that I've not been able to watch him play game in, game out. But I've been looking at him and I was like, are we looking at the future Santi Cazorla, or are we looking at the future Eden Hazard? Yeah? Because it looks like Riqui Puig is another Santi Cazorla, the younger version of Santi Cazorla. You see, you've been linked with Julian Brandt. Brandt is a very good player. He's having a very, very, very bad run at Dortmund, and that's why I think he can't trigger our season. But Brandt reminds me of Santi Cazorla somehow, though he's not a bowler to that extent. He also reminds me of Mesut Ozil to some extent, but he is not in that class. But trust me, if we can nurture Riqui Puig, he's going to be one of the most interesting players in world football in the midfield. This boy is, absolutely sensational. Really, 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 really good. The passing, the runs, the confidence. He's 21 years of age. Yeah. So if Arsenal is looking at signing players, we have already said it, that we don't need to go for 45 million players, 40, 49, 50 million. If we do not have that money, why don't we try the 28 million, 30 million, 15 million? Yeah. That kind of pricing. And for me, I think Riqui Puig is a player who can work for us. Yeah. If Emile Smith-Rowe comes to that, team and creates a difference, I just trust Riqui Puig. But the question is, can Barcelona even let him go? Because for me, him and Ansu Fati are the future of Barcelona. Yeah, I don't think Barcelona are really going to let him go unless they are crazy. But what I think is, if we can persuade Barcelona into an initial loan deal, yeah, then another loan deal maybe next season. They can fall for our trap, and then we get Riqui Puig. He's a very, very wonderful player. Very wonderful player. Look, I think he can play as a number 8 because he has the speed, he has the pace, and he can dictate the tempo of the game. And he can also play as a number 8, as a number 10, because I've seen his passing ability. I've seen how sharp he is and how easy it is for him to communicate with players. In front of him, he's sensational. Yeah, he's just sensational. Arsenal have been linked with him once, and the good thing, it is this season, but Barcelona have not replied. But are we even serious about him? Because, I mean, after Stan Kroenke saying, you need to sell before you buy, that communicated something to me that this transfer window could actually turn out to be the wrong one. Yet most of us expect it to be the right one. So don't really get shocked if we go out there in the transfer window and we sign crap. Don't be really shocked, because for me, I expect it. I really do expect it. And I think if Arsenal, can go out for these young players, Riqui Puig can look. Riqui Puig moves straight. Yeah, he moves straight in our lineup. Straight in, like no questions. He moves straight in. Better than Xhaka, better than El Neni, better than Ceballos, better than Emile Smith-Rowe. I hate to say this, but he's better. Yeah, very, very, very far better than those midfielders we have in there. So the question is, can Arsenal actually go out there and try to persuade Barcelona into selling? That is the harder bit. The harder bit is it would be the same deal with Tariq Lamptey, because if you go to Brighton right now, they're gonna call you crazy, and you don't blame them for calling you crazy. The reason that's why they're gonna call you crazy is he is one of their brightest sparks. Yeah, brightest sparks, and if they're going to stay in the league, they're looking at players like Neil Maupay. They're looking at players like Tariq Lamptey. But you have to, you've got to persuade them. And I really love, pundits who believe that when you're a big club like Arsenal, deals like this must not be very hard. You've got to bully. At times, you've got to bully some clubs into, selling to you. Now, I don't mean you bully Barcelona, because Barcelona have always, bullied us into selling to them, so we cannot really bully them into selling to us. So it must be a point of sympathy, something like that. But the fact that Brighton is a smaller club than we are, we can bully them. Who says we can't? We can bully them into selling to us. And for me, I would want to see it happen. I'm telling you, I would want to see it happen. I would want to see us bully Norwich into selling Max Aarons and Emiliano Buendia to us. Yeah, I think that, by the way, I think that would be a very good deal. Instead of, loitering around, you go to Norwich, you scoop Emiliano Buendia and Max Aarons, from the same club, and you close the January transfer window. Yes, I know. We shall have not got a number 8. What you do, you play Dani Ceballos as your number 8, Thomas Partey, or you play Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka in the pivot, because Partey, for me, if we are going to utilize him the way he has to be utilized, then we would rather play him as a box-to-box than a defensive midfielder. Because I've seen Arsenal this season, if we can, hold on to the ball, there are going to be very few clubs that can, take possession, of our eyes. So I think it's better use Thomas Partey as a box-to-box, hold that ball, make sure, he provides the security, the ball security and others, as a player like Riqui Puig or Riqui Puig, not Pig, Riqui Puig and Emiliano Buendia crest the chances. So I still believe Arsenal will do some business in January, and that's why I do these many stories. But look, let me just make myself clear. Diego Costa should not come anywhere close to this football club. How many of you in the chat after smashing the like button, please do smash the like button because I want to get into some of your comments. But how many of you in the chat would tell me, Kosi, Arsenal need Diego Costa? To be honest, we don't need Diego Costa. We don't need Diego Costa. Our problem this season is scoring goals. So? Yeah. Our problem is scoring goals. Diego Costa is not an answer because he is finished. Yeah. Costa is not an answer to the problems we have this season because it's finished. And just like a couple of other players that we have been linked with, Julian Brandit, again, he's not that kind of player that is coming to the club and you're like, he's an answer. We are getting things done. Again, I don't see him as an answer, but you need, I think we need to get a little bit more serious. I named this transfer window time to do business. And those people who are on that show, I told you why I named it time to do business. Because maybe it's time Arsenal woke up. Yeah? It's time Arsenal woke up. Now you're going to tell me, Kosi, Manchester United signed Edson Cavani. Why can't we sign Diego Costa? I think the difference Cavani and Costa have is Cavani is not yet injury prone. Yet on the other side, looks like my man, Diego Costa, is suffering with injury. He's a good player. He's a nice player, but no, the injuries are actually eating up his career. And you need to think about it. Is he the right kind of player? No. Yeah? No. For me, by the way, I'm really disappointed in Arsenal. I'm really disappointed. I think this is a transfer window where we would have had people like Charles Watts, David Ornstein, AFC Bell talk about Grealish. Surprisingly, talk about Grealish as Arsenal. Make us believe that the club is interested in signing Grealish. Yeah? But Diego Costa, Jesus Christ, good guys. Let's be more real. Let's be a little bit more realistic. Diego Costa is not that kind of player that has to play for Arsenal now. But let me know in the comments, because that is my reaction to Diego Costa. I just do not want him near Arsenal. Full stop. Yeah, I just do not want him near Arsenal. Full stop. I don't know what you guys think though. I would want to listen to your opinions. What do you think about Diego Costa to Arsenal? Because rumors have it that we are monitoring him closely. We are monitoring. Our scouting network is monitoring Diego Costa closely. And I think if it's true, then we have one of the worst scouting networks in the world. One of the worst, if not the worst. Because they have been letting us down for the past 5 years. They've been letting us down as scouts. I felt a little bit more sympathetic when, most of them were washed away. But now I do not feel any more sympathy. Yeah. I do not feel any more sympathy when these guys are being, slaughtered and pushed away from Arsenal. Because if you're looking at Diego Costa and you're the scouting network and you're bringing a 33, 34, 35-year-old, so that the club can actually sign him up because of his past reputation, we're not signing reputation. Yeah, we are signing ability. We are signing, a player. We should be signing players that are taking us forward. Yeah, we shouldn't be signing players because of their reputation. Because reputation doesn't play football, does it? I don't think it plays. Maybe if you're looking for a manager, you can look for a footballing reputation, probably that. But if you want a player to score goals, it's not Diego Costa because his reputation does not guarantee performances. A scouting network that looks at Liechtensteiner, look, there are some crazy deals we have done over the years, and I'm like, what is this fucking club doing? Stefan Liechtensteiner. What was that about? If you still remember, Unai Emery era, Stefan Liechtensteiner from Juventus. Now, actually, the truth is, Arsenal, we better stop doing this. Yeah, we better stop doing this. We better stop going for the bonds. it just doesn't look so good. Seriously, it doesn't look good when Arsenal decides to go for the bonds. Stefan Lichtsteiner signs for Arsenal. Socrates Papastopo signs for Arsenal. Yeah. These are dead players with dead deals that we are giving. These are like vampires that are just, sucking blood out of this football club. Parasites. And we want to bring in another parasite in Diego Costa. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. One window, we are linked with Odson Edward, and you're like, okay, is Arsenal getting back to their senses? Before you know it, the other day, Arsenal is ultimately linked to Diego Costa, back to square one. Yeah, but I just call these savages, scavengers. They should not come close to Arsenal. There's no way you're telling me Diego Costa is signing for Arsenal. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. And this, if it is from the scouts, by the way, let me make myself clear. If this is from the scouts, they are really letting us down and they're doing a bad job. A really, really big bad job. You're recommending Stefan Lichtsteiner. You're recommending Diego Costa. You're recommending Willian. All those players joining Arsenal at 30. Socrates Papastopoulos, as good as finished. Yeah. So it looks like our scouting has withered, somehow withered. Yeah. And it's not anywhere good for us. Just not anywhere good for us. But I want to react to two players linked with the club. That is Juan Jordan. I've reacted to Riqui Puig. He's a baller. Yeah. He's really, really a baller. But I'll talk about him again. But I want to talk about Juan Jordan. Juan Jordan is at Sevilla. He's an interesting player, to be quite precise. He's an interesting player. And he would do Mikel Arteta a very, very big good, because he is actually another House Semowa. And I know, I do understand Mikel Arteta wants another House Semowa, because it's going to be very, very hard for him to get House Semowa in January, however much he needs him so badly. So I think the reason as to why Arsenal would go for Juan Jordan is they have failed to get House Semowa, so we shall try to sign Juan Jordan. But the question in that one is quite simple. If we have failed to get House Semowa, can we get Juan Jordan from Sevilla? Can we attract Juan Jordan from Sevilla? Even before we think about his 55 million release clause, can the player just throw away everything he has worked for with Sevilla this season, to go for Arsenal? I just don't see it happen as well. Yeah, he would be a nice signing. I've seen him play, not so many times, of course. I don't want to lie to you, but he would be a very good signing for Arsenal. That is only if we get him. But I don't see Juan Jordan joining Arsenal. I don't think we have the ability and capacity, especially with our awful negotiation process. I don't see us going for him. I don't see us being able to sign him up. So again, Juan Jordan, it's another good deal that I don't see happening at the club. And I told you, I'm a big fan. I've already, fallen in love with man like Riqui Puig. If we can get him up there, Arsenal is going to be a nice club. So that is it. Tariq Lamptey, Diego Costa, Emiliano Buendia, Juan Jordan, and Riqui Puig. The only player I do not disagree with, I do not agree with here, is Diego Costa. But Tariq Lamptey, I would love him to. I'd love to see him. I would love to see him at Arsenal. I would want to greet him like a brother. I would want to greet him. He could be an absolute big signing. Big signing. Because look, I don't remember a time when Arsenal in the past 10 years have had a consistently very good right back. I don't remember. Yeah. I don't remember when a time when Arsenal have had a consistently very good right back. Because if you look at Eboué, we talk about Bakali Sanya, we talk about Bellerin, Matteo Debuchy. I'm not convinced that we have had, in the past 10 years, we have had a very good right back. I can't be convinced unless you guys think otherwise. But I don't remember Arsenal. Then we brought in Callum Chambers. All of them are just average, a bunch of average wallets that cannot provide the best. Now, I don't mean Tariq Lamptey will work at Arsenal. That's not what I'm trying to say. Because I've seen so many players like this, Tariq Lamptey. Because when we signed Matteo Debuchy, he was not one of the best. Do not get me wrong. He was not one of the best players in the league, but he was quite decent. Yeah. And of course, I know we brought him because of the French connection Arsene Wenger then had. And probably we shall bring in more Brazilians because of Edu Gaspar's Brazilian collection, and probably more Spaniards because of Mikel Arteta's Spaniard connection. But when we signed Matteo Debuchy, I celebrated. We signed him for 22 million, if you still remember. 22. Because you get your facts right. 12. I think 12 million. I think it was 12 million from Newcastle. That one I still remember. So we signed in Matteo Debuchy. I celebrated. I was like, okay, this is gonna work. Yeah, Kosi, this is gonna work. Things are gonna be fine. Then this man became first and foremost a wallet. He became an avenue. Yeah, just like Santos. Anyone who wanted to bypass a short bypass into our defense, it was either Santos or Matteo Debuchy. So that was wrong. Then God miraculously gave us Bellerin, who I think started off so well. If you guys still remember, if our memories are the same, Bellerin started off so well at Arsenal. He was, I should say, quite a bowler. Yeah. Going forward, his defensive attributes were questionable, but going forward, he was okay. Then we were like, all right, let's see how things do man up. He never worked. When he got, when he started facing the injuries, his career, for me, got finished, especially at Arsenal, because I don't see him as a player that is going to resurrect anytime soon. So this has been the trend over and over and over again. Yeah. All the time, we have a right back, he gets injured and he's crap. Right back gets injured and scrap. So in the past 10 years, I don't remember Arsenal having a decent right back. Sanya, Bellerin, Ainsley, all of them are in the same category. So if we go for Tariq Lamptey, which is going to be a very hard deal, by the way, I'm telling you, it's going to be a very hard deal. Harder than that of Max Aaron's right now. What would make Max Aaron's deal very, very hard is Norwich now know that they have an asset. Barcelona and Bayern were fighting for him last summer, and he was unfortunate to go, not to go there. But I think if Arsenal can go back, maybe we can get him. I'm not sure. Maybe we can get him. Yeah. Maybe we can get him if we fail to get Tariq Lamptey. But there's going to be a lot of competition on Tariq Lamptey, and his deal is not going to be done in January. His deal is either going to be done in the summer or next year, because he has barely spent a year at Brighton. How do you expect them to sell him off that easily? I don't see that happen as well. So that is it, guys. Let me just look at some of your comments. Actually, all of your comments, not some of your comments. So tell me what you think about those players we've been talking about. Yeah, Diego Costa, is he worth being at Arsenal? Because I don't think he's worth. If I ask myself, why would we sign Diego Costa? My answer is we shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't. Unless there is someone who thinks otherwise about Diego Costa, but he is finished. Tariq Lamptey, good deal. I would agree. But if you look at the process of getting Tariq Lamptey, it's not an easy deal, guys. It's not an easy deal. Though I would do it if Arsenal had the ability. Big up Kosi. This is Binu. Big up my brother. How are you doing? Kosi, bring Lamptey. You never know. Injuries. I understand. I understand. We need Lamptey. Okay, we can have 4 right backs. That's what you mean. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. We can't have 4 right backs that are not good enough. And I don't think Arsenal is going to do it, Joseph. You remember, if we couldn't keep 2 good goalkeepers, we can't keep 4 full backs. We can. And remember, we already have 27 players and only 25 can be included in the squad. So if you bring in another, any addition we bring in is increasing on the number of players that should be sidelined out of the squad, not playing, not playing football, but getting income. I don't think Arsenal is open to doing that. What is the reason why Ozil is not playing? Is Arteta who's a problem, or is the player? The reason as to why Arsenal is not playing Mesut Ozil is the player, the manager, the board, and the politics. Yeah. So I think we have had this discussion already, Motelo, but I'll be more than glad to answer. Look, Ozil is not playing at Arsenal. I don't think it is Mikel Arteta's call. However much he carried the cross and he lifted the burden, I don't think he is equally responsible for whatever reasons misfortune and doom came over Mesut Ozil. Because when he comes in, Granit Xhaka, Mesut Ozil are some of those players that actually improved drastically. If you still remember, yeah, with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, they improved drastically, and I was like, okay, it looks like Ozil has a new life at Arsenal. Only to know, man did not make it in the Europa League squad, and he didn't make it in the Premier League squad. But most reports will tell you Mikel Arteta, blah, 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 because he said he's not playing Ozil because of footballing reasons. And that's why we direct the anger towards him. But, Arsene Wenger said this. He already said it because he worked with the player very closely. And he said, Ozil is not one of the easiest players you're going to work with. He does, he might not chase the ball, his attitude and a couple of other issues, but we needed him. And I know Mikel Arteta knew that, because if he didn't sign Houssema and he had a couple of days, to decide who makes it to the squad, he was obviously going to pick Mesut Ozil, wasn't he? But I think the problem is bigger than, Mikel Arteta. I pray the Gunners beat Brighton so that we get breathing space. Yeah, I mean, it's a prayer of every Arsenal fan, lad. It's a prayer of every Arsenal fan, Ochari. We wanna beat Brighton. And look, I'm not really being deluded, but we might get an easy win over Brighton. I don't want to be deluded, and I am not deluded. We might get an easy win over Brighton. Why? Because I think most people still think that was a one-off. And this is a time when we need to show people, it was a one-off. Yeah, it was a one-off, but it's paying off. Yeah, it's really paying off. So I think Arsenal need to think about that as well. Humble greetings from my side, Cozy. Big up Thomas Funday. Big up my brother. Diego Costa is far too better. This is Rogers. This is so crazy. He says Diego Costa is far too better than Rob Holding at centre back. That's crazy. I love the way you talk about Costa. For real, he's finished. Look, yeah. I mean, thanks for the comment, but thanks for understanding. Costa was once a wonderful player, but not anymore. Yeah. Isaac Gunners, I like Lamptey, but we have 3 right backs. Look, yeah, that's the point. That's the point, brother. We have 3 right backs. So how do you convince me that Arsenal is adding a 4th right back? I want to be convinced, but it doesn't look like I will be convinced anyway. We need a a left back, not a right back. This is squad height. We need a backup. We need a backup for Kian Tierney, because I do agree, by the way. If you look at Kian Tierney, he is almost a sole left back at Arsenal. He gets injured, you're going to start gambling around. I do agree with you. I do agree with you, brother. But you also need a right back, at least a decent one. Why not buy a good creative midfielder? Arsenal is looking at so many creative midfielders, very good, of them. The problem is, will we sign them? Jordan isn't good. Juan Jordan says Dennis isn't good. He's good. He is good. Trust me, he is good, but he is not that kind of player you think he is. And this is the problem. Whenever we are linked to a midfielder this season, many Arsenal fans think he is Bruno Fernandes type. He is the Kevin De Bruyne type. He is not. He is not. He's good at what he does, but probably not what Arsenal fans want to see. Dennis says he is slow. Yeah, I understand, but Ozil is a world-class footballer in my case, but he is slow as well. Arsenal is interested in every player. I do understand, and we shall do all the stories. Trust me. How do you pronounce your name, sir? How do you pronounce your name? Oh, call me Kosi. I think that is easy. Kosi. Some people call me Kosi, other Kosis, but call me Kosi. That is how I pronounce my name. Kosi. As simple as that. We should go for Brandit, Buendia, and Lamptey. Otherwise, Arsenal will not go past position 12. This is Dennis. Brandit, Buendia, and Lamptey. If you go for Brandit and Buendia, you've gone for almost the same kind of player. And I think Arsenal need not to go for Jolan Brandit. He's having a hell of a season. Yeah, a hell of a season. One of his worst seasons I think he has experienced in the past 4 years. So I don't see him as a big alternative. Maybe if you're going for him as a player, as a cheaper option, maybe that. Buendia, I agree. Lamptey, I do agree. Arsenal are always interested, but not doing business. Horrible things. Exactly. I do agree with that. Look, only for the January transfer window, we have been linked, like today, we have been linked 1, 2, 3, 4. We have already been linked with 5 players today. Yeah, today. And if I check my channel, I think this must be the 10th, transfer video we linked with another person. And more are still to come. So be prepared to handle it. We need to be active this summer. I don't know whether we shall be active, but it could be a time when we will be active. The good thing is we have a couple of players leaving, and the bad thing is that Mikel Arteta is trying to persuade them to stay. I think Arsenal should be thinking about letting Mustafi go, Socrates go, Ozil go, and a couple of other players that we deem unfit for this football club. The problem is Mikel Arteta wants to make himself very merciful to let all players stay, giving them football. I think in the summer, that is when we shall do business, because at least almost 5 players can leave. Yeah, we can let go of 5 players and probably bring in 2 or 3 good ones. I do agree with you, my brother. I'm really sad that we finally not sign an important player. That we will finally not sign an important player. We will end up getting a nobody on loan this January. Don't be surprised. I can't be surprised. Because I've said it. I've said it before. Look, and Arsenal is funny, and blessings are always on the side of Stan Kroenke. Right now, the club is in a predicament, and we're gonna win 2 games. Yeah, win 2 games, and the club will say, "We have started coming back. We don't need a lot of players in the January transfer, of course." And then we go for someone on loan. I do understand, by the way. I do understand your plea. I understand it very well. If Arsenal do not sign anyone in January, it will be very understandable. I will understand. That's what we have been doing all over. Arsenal have a lot of deadwoods that needs to be cleared first. Then we start signing good players. Look, Dennis, I don't think we have time to first clear the deadwoods. This is a matter of survival. This is a matter of death. Arsenal is dying. We need to survive fast before we think about clearing dead wood. Because if you start convincing me that Arsenal should start clearing dead wood, then these players probably we can clear dead wood until 2025. Yeah, until 2025. Because for me, I'm really convinced that almost 2/3 of the players at this football club should not be here. Yeah, they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't, and they shouldn't. That is the fact. Yeah, they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be at this football club. Last time, I did a full lineup of players that should leave Arsenal. And you still remember, full lineup. Check out the videos. A full lineup of players that should be leaving Arsenal, starting from goalkeeper to striker. So how dare you tell me that actually Arsenal, the mighty Arsenal, need to first clear dead wood? Do you know how long that's going to be? Yeah? Do you know how long that's going to take us? It's really going to take us a lot of time. Yeah? It's really going to take us a lot of time, and we do not have the time. Just to make you know. Big up Igwe, well done. Thank you for watching the videos, guys. Well done as well. Then it says, we have seen how Willian is a waste of money. How they talk of Diego Costa. I die. Trust me, I died before I did this story. Hi, bro. It needs more new world class player center back. Paul Torres, midfielder, Awa, Isco, and Buendia. Yeah, probably we'll talk about a center back, but looks like Mikel Arteta has already decided that in pursuit for a center back, he will be going for Eric Garcia. So probably that is not a problem anymore. Costa is dead wood. Arsenal becoming a retirement ground. What is wrong with Arsenal? I don't know. But I think we have a problem with scouting. If the problem is not with scouting, then it is with the way, the club is doing business in terms of policy. But we don't have scouts. Remember, staffs were sent packing. Yeah, I know, but that doesn't mean we no longer have scouts. We do have some scouts around, and they're doing a ridiculously nasty job. We better remain with our academy boys. I do agree with you. I do agree. Amozi says, I would rather stay with Edin Ketia than go for Diego Costa. Brilliant. Brilliant comment. Very, very brilliant. Still, I would rather stay with Ketia than go for Diego Costa. Because Ketia has a future. Diego Costa doesn't have one. Yeah. He says, big up Mose. Arsenal need to stop this joke about Diego Costa. And what is interesting is that all the sources that are very authentic reporting about Arsenal are reporting about it. Yeah. They're reporting about it. How Arsenal is interested in the Wallard, Diego Costa. He is in the UCL. Why would he go to Arsenal? That is Adrian. Big up, Adrian. Kosi, thank you for this information. But our Arsenal. Look, I just feel sorry for Arsenal. I just really feel sorry for Arsenal. Big up, David. I hate Arsenal. Please don't hate the club, because we are winning today and the match reaction will be very, very fun. My brother, I just want to appreciate the way you keep us updated on Arsenal. Big up, Lambert. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Lambert. Thanks a lot. Whenever you guys do appreciate, it makes me happy, and it gives me the zeal to still go on. Kosi, we should give Balogun 4-year contract, sell Hector, and play Ainsley. I said it, Neil. I said it before, that if we can't keep Nketiah and Balogun, the player we should keep is Balogun. Not even a 4-year contract, bro. This guy is barely 20 years. Give him a 5-year contract. Time to the club. Yeah, time to the club. Look, if Edin Ketia is for sale right now, probably it's going to be 10 million or 15. Let's tie Balogun to a big contract, and if we feel like he's gonna leave, he can leave for good money, but not letting him go on a free transfer in the summer. Arsenal is just not serious. Like we are just not serious. Arsenal signing Lamptey will be the second biggest signing of from Thomas Partey, but that won't happen. in Arsenal, at Arsenal. That is Kevin Kamau. Big up from Kenya, my love from Kenya, my brother. Let's buy Lamptey from Brighton and get a central attacking midfielder. That is Hash Thapa. Alexander Anthony says, Costa, wow, wasn't expecting Arsenal to actually target him. They should sign Lamptey, Buendia, Bissouma, Brandit Isco, Juan Jordan, and Eric Garcia. The two players I do not rate on your list is Eric Garcia. I don't rate him that much. I don't know why. And I don't think also Juan Jordan is a deal that Arsenal can do. But then if Costa comes, who will leave Arsenal? Probably Alexander Lacazette, because Lacazette is left with 18 months on his contract, and it doesn't look like Arsenal is willing or ready to actually go for a new contract with him. So I think he will be leaving the club very soon. You're right, because Diego Costa doesn't have the zeal to turn around things at Arsenal. He is a deadwood, and Arsenal is not a retirement ground. Let him stay away. Dima from Kenya. Big up Dima, my brother. Thank you so much for the love. Courses, it won't be anything easy. We need to earn it. I agree with you. Big up. The reason is Ozil is not playing is because he's out in China. He has been training with he's been training, and videos have been coming out of him training with Aubameyang. Arsenal. Kolasinac is not a footballer anymore. Kolasinac has never been a footballer ever since he came to Arsenal. I don't know what he has been doing as a player, but I don't think it's good enough for starters. I don't think it's good enough. And the other thing, it was a mistake to sign him in the first place. But I think we have been doing these transfer mistakes, guys. Kolasinac, Liechtensteiner, Diego Costa, Willian. Look, what's the difference? They're all free deals that are worthless. Yeah? Worthless free deals. By the way, instead of signing Willian, I wish we signed Mario Götze on a free. I just wish we should have signed Mario Götze on a free deal, probably. I just do not understand Arsenal. Kosi, win today won't be anything easy. We need to earn it. Yeah, I understand. Now I do understand. But if he plays the kids, I've been looking at Charles Schwartz's video, and he makes a very good point. He says Brighton will have a share of the possession. Now, for me, when I was doing my match preview, I thought Brighton could be a little bit more scared that they would actually they would play a defensive game and wait to get us on the break, and our work would be to break them down. But if they play an open game, like Leeds, then we can win against them. They have not been scoring so many goals this season. They have not scored so many goals this season, so probably we need not to worry about them. Says we need Ozil. Slyman, big up. Slyman saying thanks man for thanks man, more bless on your good work. Big up, brother. How are you doing? Thanks man, more bless for your good work. Thank you so much for appreciating. You guys, whenever you guys do appreciate, I do understand the love. Kuvesham says, what's up, bro? Big up, bro. I'm just here looking at the transfer news around our club. Shout out from South Africa. Big up, my man. Big up, my man. Straight. I can see how big this audience is. Just tell me where you're watching from, by the way, and then I'll send a shout out. I'm from UG, so make sure you tell me where you're watching from. South Africa, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, UK, USA. Tell me where you're watching from, and I will actually send the love and a shout out. What is Thomas Partey's injury status, Kosi? Partey is training. He's back to full training. Today it has been confirmed. He's back to full training. Probably he can get some minutes against West Brom in the coming game on the 2nd. Yeah, on the 2nd of January. But today against Brighton, he will not play. Yeah, that is it, Dima, for you. Kosi, do you remember when Man United beat Arsenal 8-2? I still remember. Before then, Wenger has already said all is well with his team. Yeah, I still remember Emeka When they spanked us 8-2, we rushed into the market on deadline day, and we signed Santos, Pamet Saka. We signed Santos, Pamet Saka. Who else? Mikel Arteta, Pachu Young, and Yossi Benayoun. 5 players. Almost 5 players in that transfer window, because Manchester United almost killed us in the rings. I still remember. Big up Emeka. What a memory. Causes what happened to William Saliba. Now, let me tell you this. William Saliba is going to have a meeting with his representatives and us, no? That it means Mikel Arteta and Edu. They're going to sit and listen to each other. They're going to decide whether the player goes out on loan, because PSV is interested and a couple of other French clubs are also interested in taking him in. However, as for now, there isn't anything going on between Arsenal and William Saliba. He is an Arsenal player who is not getting game time. So let us wait for the meeting and what will come out of the meeting. AFC Bell reports that William Saliba and his department or his crew want 3 options. He either leaves, or he gets game time, or he leaves on a permanent deal. So let us wait and see. Hi Cosis, why do we always go for Chelsea rejects? Lamptey was rejected by Chelsea. Hope he's not good enough for us. No, let's play Ainsley consistently. This is Rogers. It's a big look. It's a big question, a very, very big question, a very, very big question. And I do understand your concern, Rogers. But I think the difference he has with other players, because David Louis is finished. Yeah, he came to Arsenal at a very old age. Apart from David Louis, you think about Willian. He also came to Arsenal at a very old age. Of course, you talk about William Gallas, who I never thought he was never good enough. Yeah, look, he was never good enough. And I think it was the French connection that drove him towards Arsene Wenger's club, but he was never good enough for me. So I think the difference Lamptey has with these others is he is a young player that can actually work for his merit. Yeah, like you saw Lukaku. Look, if right now Chelsea do not have a striker better than Lukaku by statistics, they do not have. Yeah, but they let him go, loaned him to West Brom, Everton a couple of times, and they're like, okay, they sold him to Everton. Everton sold him to Manchester United. United sold him out to Inter. Miguel Aziz is the next kid to break into the first team. I do not disagree. I might not disagree. He's a good player. I've seen him play, and I think he's very confident as a midfielder. That's one of the things you must have. You must be very confident, and I think he's very, very confident. He's a bowler. He knows what it takes to play football, and he's quite talented. But let us give him some time and see how good he can actually be. Before we go for Costa, we should go for Odsonne Edouard. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal has been linked with this Celtic guy for almost eternity, but it never seems to go through. We are going to win today. Big up, George. Our scouts are working towards Arsenal board structure. I do agree, Emeka. I do agree. Hillary says, let's hope these are rumors for real. Or these rumors are for real. The game with Brighton all depends on the manager. If we start the youngsters, we have a chance of winning the game. I agree. I agree, bro. I agree. If Mikel Arteta actually is interested in playing the kids, he stands a chance to win this game. I do believe that the board will eventually sack Arteta, and they will replace him with Brendan Rodgers. It's not something you're gonna take lightly. Yeah, it's not something you should take lightly, because right now, what should know about Rodgers is he's having a nice spell at Leicester City. Yeah, he's having a very, very wonderful spell at Leicester. And if you want to drag him into signing for Arsenal, you're gonna be you're gonna have to do more than it takes. Yeah, it's gonna have to be more than it takes. So it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that easy. But still, I do agree. Arsenal stand a chance. Yeah, Arsenal stand a chance to get Brendan Rodgers, but I think it will be all about the backing. Yeah, it will be all about the backing. If we can back him, we can sign him. Is Smith Rowe included in today's match against Brighton? The boy was superb against Chelsea. I hope he's going to cement his place at Arsenal. Now, look, thank you so much, Dima, by the way. Thank you so much, Dima. I want to talk about Emily Smith Rowe just in a few. I believe Mikel Arteta now knows which players to trust and which players not to trust. That's what I believe. By this time, if he has not learned which players to play and which players not to play, then he is a warlord that needs to be sacked before we get any other problems. But I think Emily Smith Rowe will be in the squad. It only depends whether he's going to play. But with Willian still being out, I think we stand a chance. Yeah, with Willian still being out, I think we still, I think we stand a chance. Yeah, we do stand a chance to see Smith Rowe play for us. No, he had a fantastic game against Chelsea. The numbers, two chances, created that opportunity for Saka. The way he was playing on the left, on the right, in the middle, that guy has something about him. And after he went and he went out and bragged and said that was for the fans. Yeah, that was the first one. Trying to show you that it is not. It was not by mistake that his performance was like that. And make no mistake, make no mistake. This is a guy who has not been playing football for Arsenal Football Club recently. He's not getting game time, but he comes in and puts in such a performance. Yeah, he lacks much fitness, but he's doing so well. Love that boy, man. Why go for Costa? We need to get a quality striker. If we really need one, that would also mean Lacazette moves away. We can't afford to lose Eddie or Balogun. Cedric should be swapped with Lamptey. I think Eddie, for me, I don't rate Eddie. I do not rate Eddie. But I agree with you. Cedric has to leave if you're going to get Lamptey. You need creativity. This is a FNCS Leo says you need creativity. We don't need the creativity, and I think we are working on that. Kosi, I think Arsenal should give Balogun more time, and Eddie Nketiah should be left to go. This is Sulaiman. In my view, resigning Danny Ceballos was another mistake. He's not good enough to help Arsenal go. No goal, no assist. Look, I've seen this, and I'm like, what the hell is even going on with this football club? Yeah. George says, I'm from Italy. Big up, much love from Italy. Jose is watching from London. Big love from London. This one also comes from London. That is Harrigan. Big love from London as well. Toronto, Canada. That is Rafik. Big love. From South Africa, Nail. Big love. Someone from Singapore. Musin from Singapore. This one is from St. Lucia. Big love, much love. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate, bro. Big up, bro. Rogers from Kenya. Big up my brother Rogers. Ben needs to play. That kid is absolutely amazing, versatile in the left back, and a midfielder number 10 row. Do I know this kid? Ben Cotro. Do I know? Yeah. I know Ben Cotro. I've seen him just once like this. And I think there's so many good players, by the way. There are so many good kids in Steve Ball's side that we can actually promote. I've seen this guy. I've seen this boy. He's a baller. China no longer buy us no matches because of what is said about China's short memory. Are you saying about Mesut Ozil? Probably. Good afternoon, my friend. It's been a long time. How are you doing, Nuha? How are you doing, Nuka? It's been a long time, my brother. It's been a long time. Good to see you back. Latest on Partey injury, I've addressed that. I did say the Thomas Partey is back to full training, but he will miss the Brighton game and he will come back against West Brom. He might not start. He might get some few minutes, but the manager may not want to rush him. So probably he might actually come back. Maybe when is that? After in the Newcastle game, and I wouldn't be surprised. Why is Saliba left out and Mustafi in the team? Mikel Arteta is just a wallad, Moses USA. Watching, thanks bro for the good work. Thank you so much. I'll keep up the good work. Watching from Niger Republic, big up Hammer from Niger. Nice kit, bro. Thank you so much. It's your super chats. By the way, thanks everybody who buys the super chats. Your super chats get me the jerseys, and I'm planning to buy more softwares, build a virtual studio as soon as I get more super chats. So please, thank you so much for the love. Hey, where is Chambers? Big up Ugandans. Chambers is fit. He's fit. When did I last see Chambers? He played in that game against in the last game we played in the Europa League with Pablo Mari as center back, as his center back partner. That is when we last saw him. But he's fit. He's back again. Kosi, sorry I'm late. Is Diego Costa linked to Arsenal? Yes, exactly. He's linked to the Arsenal, and I don't know why. Because I don't think we need him. We donated, but we do not need a 32-year-old coffin Doja like Costa anywhere near our club. Big up. Kosi, my brother, the board really needs to support the manager, Arteta, to bring in 5 good recruits to move the team from where they are to qualify for the European League next season. I do agree with you. 80 people watching. Come on, guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button, people. Much love, by the way. I really do appreciate. Hit the like button. Thank you so much, Mose. How many players are leaving Arsenal come January? There could be 3, but it's going to be very hard to move on players in January. Dima from Gambia, I believe Arsenal will better now. That Partey is coming back soon. Yeah, he's a very big influence to the club. You know that. It has been our system going every player, but at the end we sign nonsense. I don't disagree, especially being the fact that I'm an Arsenal fan and I know what it means. Thanks much, Kosi, for your tremendous support and endless time towards Arsenal. God bless you. This is Jasper from Sierra Leone. Big up. Now he's watching from Dhaka. Big up, my brother. I don't want Costa, the 32-year-old Doja, Arsenal. That is Winters. Let Balogun play and he can be Alba's understudy, even though Alba is in poor form. There are many things that he can learn from his game, such as movement and technique. Laka and Ketia can leave immediately. Okay, that is our motion. I would rather keep Cedric than Hector Bellerin. I would rather not keep any of them. Kosi Balogun should remain in the club. If he not, he will become another Saginabri and Kane at Bayern and Spurs. Yeah. I do agree. With you, brother. Would love Diego Costa asked. We need that. Yeah, but look, AJ, we might need him. We might need the attributes, but not him. Yeah, we need the attributes. We need the attributes the player possesses, but we don't need him personally. Our players are mentally weak. Costa would no. Costa is finished. Not now. Bashir says, "How are you doing?" I'm very good, bro. I'm very, very, very good, bro. How are you doing? Dima says, Kosi, how is Mikel dealing with the issue of red cards? Look, I think I don't know why these red cards are really coming in thick and fast. That's the first thing. I've tried to think about it, and I'm like, is it the lack of respect? Is it frustration? But I think for me, it would be a matter of time that these red cards can disappear. If we can get back to winning ways, then we stop making the reckless mistakes. I think Pepe, Pepe and Xhaka, I think it could be because of frustration. Yeah, it could be because of frustration. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I really think. So I think we just need to get back to winning ways. We just need to get back to winning ways. Then the red cards are off. From Uganda, big up my brother. How are you doing? I'm watching from Dubai. Big up people from Dubai. Big up. Why can we go for Lucas Paqueta if we get? Why can we go for Lucas Paqueta if you can get Isco? Paqueta just signed for a while. Where's the for Lyon last season, so I don't think it's going to be easy to lure him away from the club. Tunash Kakar, big up. How are you doing? From Gambia, please. How many players we plan to buy at the moment? At the moment, I think Arsenal is planning on bringing in 2 players, just 2 players, just 2, and they could be midfielders. Because what happened to Reece Nelson? He got injured, but I think he's back now. It will depend on Mikel Arteta to give him some playing time. But with Martinelli and Saka occupying both wings, it's gonna be a hell tough time for Reece Nelson to break into the lineup. It's gonna be very, very hard. I want to discuss about transfers. I think I might not be able to send the link. My StreamYard app has a problem. I wanted to send the link, but it's not copying. I'm going to try to rectify so that we can actually discuss more when it comes to the match reaction. Probably it will be okay by then. Smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to smash the like button. That is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks everybody who has smashed the like button in those 5 seconds. Much love from Costa's Arsenal podcast. Much love. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it off from here. 1 hour and 22 minutes streamed. I'll come back with the match reaction. Brighton up against Arsenal. I'm sorry. I wanted to do a prediction show, but looks like it might not actually be possible. So let us just call it off from here, and I'll come back with the match reaction after this. Much love. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.